These ruins are magnificent!
Those aren't ordinary ruins. If the records are correct, they should be King Deshret's mausoleum. It's where the tyrant is buried.
Should we still go forward then?
All questions have an answer, and all answers slumber here.
I will do this, even if all I achieve is showing some ignorant mercenaries the error of their ways.
Aether, let's head over carefully. Paimon feels even smaller now that we've gotten closer. Paimon feels as insignificant as a grain of sand.
That was also one of King Deshret's means of ruling, building huge spectacles to instill the idea that his subjects are small and insignificant into them, thus achieving the objective of domesticating them. The act of using huge amounts of manpower to build such a spectacle in the desert is a testament to King Deshret's tyranny.
Beep, 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 beep.
Whoa! So Benben can even open a door this huge?
It's difficult to say. Maybe just open on its own. It might have nothing to do with Benben.
Why is he being so stubborn?
Then explain to me how this thing, Benben, opened the door. What's the logic behind that?
Paimon doesn't know either.
Benben? What is it? Do you want to go inside? Is there something you're familiar with in there?
Beep, beep.
A grain of sand is insignificant, but an ocean of them possesses immeasurable strength. Researcher of blind faith, do you really have the courage to set foot into the sands?
We're already here, so of course we must go inside. Still, my researcher's intuition is telling me that the danger ahead is incomparable to the dangers we've faced so far. I doubt I can trust either of you desert dwellers, so Aether, I'm counting on you to keep me safe.
Come on, it's just some differences of opinion. It isn't that serious, is it?
You don't get it at all. A collision of views in academics is no different from a battle.
Sheesh, this guy's really getting more annoying by the minute.
So, are all of you done? It's not easy to hold Benben back.
Sorry.
So Benben really wants to go inside, huh? Let's stop delaying then. Whoa! Why's Benben going so fast? Hey, it's dangerous over there! Benben! Why did they let Benben off but not us? Careful, Aether!
Propagate! Terminate!
Ben, it's not here! It's running way too fast. Aether, let's keep looking.
Phew. Thank goodness Benben's alright. Seriously, stop rushing off so quickly. What if you got into trouble?
Huh? Should that be called an injury or a malfunction?
Doesn't matter. There aren't any doctors or technicians here anyway.
Beep.
We do have a bunch of angry adults, though.
You're absolutely right about that.
I'm not angry. This place is full of evidence. It will not take long to prove that I'm right. I mean, look at this huge coffin. Wait, what? How do we get this thing open?
Paimon can't figure out if he's brave or cowardly.
What are those?
The huge statues here, don't they look like guards? They're so intimidating. Tirzad, Paimon thinks it's best if you don't touch anything here.
They're just rocks. We have nothing to fear from rocks. Aha! There may be a mechanism around here somewhere. Let me take a look.
We should split up and search for clues.
Oh! Aether, as impressive as always. I'll definitely credit you if I'm able to publish my paper successfully. Although, what we're about to do is disrespectful, it's all done for academic progress. I promise it's not for selfish gain. Huh? Wait! Huh? There's
nothing in here.
How is this possible? But these diagrams... Wait a minute, let me think. Huh. I get it now. This has to be an illusion! Of course King Jehet knew that inquisitive researchers like me would come with the desire to get to the bottom of things and uncover all his secrets. So of course, he wouldn't let others get to them that easily. Thus he built this huge mausoleum and prepared so many doors and rooms. He even went so far as to prepare illusions like this to mislead us. The most important things wouldn't be placed in such a conspicuous spot. Moreover, this place is too low. Way too low. The real treasure is definitely higher up. It must be in a place closer to the sky.
What utter nonsense.
Oh? Well, let's hear what you think then.
I may not be able to say what exactly it's for, but I know for sure that what you say is untrue.
Does someone like you even have the right to say that I only draw from the work of others? You don't even have the intelligence to use the work of others.
Indeed, but I'm still convinced you know too little about these sands.
Stop going on about the sands! What you see is the truth! Just you wait! I'll find solid proof that you can't refute! Up! Let's go upward!
Aether, let's find a way up. Paimon's worried that Tirzad will get himself into trouble if this goes on. Is this some kind of elevator? Well, that's convenient. We'll be able to go up this way, so let's go.
Theoretically, this should be where King Jehet's organs are stored. But just like before, nothing physical is stored here.
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, I have a theory, but I need more evidence to prove it.
Father, what do you think? I'm sure you know something, right? Even if you didn't tell me or anyone else.
The stone slate is the key, but it cannot open all doors. Even the key must first receive acknowledgement.
Beep, beep.
Oh, Benben's link to this place is obvious, but what do you mean? The stone slate must receive acknowledgement? That's just absurd.
Benben, who do you think is correct?
Beep.
Now that I've calmed down a little, I can understand why Jebrael is challenging my views. You said that he was once from the desert. Perhaps some experiences, maybe even verbal, have been treated as knowledge. Not that they're true knowledge, of course, and naturally there are no academic records of such things. His superstitions are understandable considering the society he lived in. But Jeht, do you really think that Benben's, words are worth believing? These are, after all, words that came out of nowhere instead of an actual academic researcher, you know?
Huh? But Benben's helped a lot on our trip. As for you, Tirzad, you've been nothing but talk. I doubt your speeches, high-flown though they sound, are even entirely correct. I get the feeling that my father knows more, and that if he would just tell us everything he knows...
Repeating something wrong 1,000 times won't make it right. Aether, Paimon, you're adventurers with vast amounts of experience, and unlike that father-daughter pair, you have no link to this place. So who do you think is right?
Whoa! You can't just bring that on us.
Benben is right?
But no one here can really understand Benben.
Even if you asked us, we wouldn't be able to answer a question like that. Instead of worrying about differing opinions, why don't we focus our attention on a real problem? Like... Oh, right! Didn't the stone slate light up earlier? But there are still so many blank spots on it. So, do you think we'll find clues about this stone slate here? Why don't we take a look at the stone slate, Aether?
Beep.
Whoa! It's shining! Looks like it opened up a new passageway, too!
So it really is a key.
But if you look closely, there's still empty patches. Tirzad, can you tell us about the symbols on it now?
I'll have the answer once they're all lit up. It's still too early now. I can't jump to conclusions.
You know, that does make sense. If the people of the past were fond of using inverted sentences, we may come to a completely opposite conclusion if we don't have all the information.
You know, Paimon kinda doubts that would happen.
Since the passageway to the next place has shown itself, we have no other choice but to push forward.
Will things really go that smoothly? Paimon keeps having the feeling that something is leading us forward.
Going back the way we came is an option.
How can we turn back at this point? My masterpiece just needs some final touches. Just that tiny piece of decisive proof. I expect all of you to stay until the end.
Should you really call a decisive piece of evidence tiny? Paimon may not know whether Jebrael or Tirzad is correct, but we'll definitely get an answer if we continue, right? Aether, let's be more careful from now on. Aether! Hey, Aether!
What happened?
Oh, thank goodness! You're finally awake! Paimon doesn't know what happened either. We were here when Paimon woke up. Maybe it was a trap? Anyway, let's go look for the others. The patterns on this device match the symbol that just appeared on the stone slate, so that means we can pass, right? Over there! It's the Fatui! Jeht and the others are there too! Come on! We've got to go help!
No slacking off!
Scatter!
Innocent child will break you!
Propagate!
This should be fun! How can this be? Let's end this quickly! Put your back into it!
Germinate!
No excuse for slacking! My work is not waste time.
quickly! Scatter! Spring forth! Propagate! Propagate! Let's end this quickly! Terminate! Propagate! Almost. Scatter! Let's end this quickly! Propagate! Let's not waste time. Scatter!
You're finally here! My savior! I woke up to find myself in this place, and my whole body felt like it was falling apart. That wasn't even the end of it. I went to great lengths to finally find Jeht and her father, but the Fatui attacked again.
Whoa, that's terrible!
Paimon, Aether, did you see Benben on the way? Benben is gone! I searched all around the area, to no avail.
We didn't, did we, Aether?
We didn't.
Then, Benben must be up ahead. It's the only one left alone now, so we must find it soon.
There's no need to be so anxious. The way I see it, it probably only got lost because it likes running off by itself so much.
Benben has helped us so much. It's part of our group. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be so cruel as to abandon a companion. I must find Benben.
Its capabilities are undeniable, Tirzad. I'm sure you are aware of that.
Even you, Jebrael? Fine, you win. Let's find Benben first. But I'm leaving if we encounter the Fatui again.
Speaking of which, what are the Fatui doing here? Is this some kind of archaeological hotspot?
Huh? That's impossible. I wouldn't have chosen this place if it were such a hot research topic.
True. After all, you said yourself that you aren't a very great researcher. You probably wouldn't stand a chance against those elites.
Hey, it's called avoiding battles where victory isn't guaranteed.
Either way, this place may be more troublesome than we expected. Let's advance carefully.
Why are the Fatui here as well? Aren't they afraid of the heat, dressing like that in the desert? If only they'd run into the Eremites and start fighting each other.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
That room's... I wonder if it was a trap. Why did it send us here?
It's common practice to attempt to expel trespassing outsiders. If you want technical details, you'll have to wait until I return and ask some Kasharawar experts.
Oh, but I wonder, if King Deshret was a tyrant like you say, why wasn't that a lethal mechanism instead?
We're just lucky that we haven't encountered one yet, and I hope that we never do. Look, we can continue our expedition on this path. I don't want to give up when we finally found some clues about the stone slate.
Shh. Those guys down there aren't friendly. We must find a way around them to proceed forward, or...
It's the Fatui and the Eremites again! You know, Aether, Paimon's been thinking, did they kidnap Benben?
We've gotta rescue it.
Jeht, calm down.
Are you kidding? I'm just an ordinary researcher. I've come here to solve academic problems, not to fight.
Able to get here without Benben. Tirzad, you'll never be able to solve those academic problems of yours without Benben either.
That's right. We've got to rescue it, even if it's just for the sake of completing our expedition. You're not afraid of them, right, Aether?
Don't worry. Aether's an expert at dealing with the Fatui, but we should still be careful.
Ha! I was wondering when you would get here, my dear Jebrael.
Huh?
And here you are, just as I expected, even without an invitation from me. Oh, how long has it been since we last spoke face to face? Even my fingers on both hands aren't enough to count the years. What about you? Do you remember, Jebrael?
Whoa, that guy seems really strange, but it looks like he knows Jebrael.
How cold. Is our reunion after so many years apart not worth a glass of wine and a toast? You know I don't hold the past against you. Either that, or I'm not Samail the straight shooter. There's still a place for you in Thutmose. Just say the word, and everything can go back to how it was. Indeed, we can even go claim the debt that Babel owes us.
I knew it! I knew Jebrael wasn't a good person. He's actually old friends with someone like this?
Nonsense! Father may have kept some things from me, but I believe he has his reasons.
That really hurts, Jeht.
Huh? How do you know my name?
How could I not? Why, Jebrael, you've got such a cold heart. And it's like father like daughter, I see. Ah, dear Jeht, you may have forgotten me, but luckily, I still remember it very well. I held you in my arms when you were just a little baby, with the moonlight on one side and the bonfire on the other, just like your parents.
How come?
It seems like Jebrael didn't tell you anything at all, huh? Come on, that can't be. Jebrael, couldn't you even tell your own daughter the truth? Oh well, I suppose I shouldn't have been too shocked. After all, we did call you the treacherous Grit. As I listened to my subordinates reporting to me about the responses of the foreign merchants in the oasis, I started to wonder, who gave them such wisdom, yet only instructed them without explaining anything at all? But even I could never have imagined that little Jeht's place in your heart is no different than those foreign merchants. Mere strangers to you. You don't even dare to tell her about your past. Why? Are you afraid she'll hear about your history of betrayal and look down on you?
Father.
Samail, to be honest, I'm quite relieved to see that you're still the same lippy fellow I remember. Now I have nothing to worry about if I beat you to the point where you'll leave of your own accord.
So you are afraid. You're afraid that this ghost of your past will seek you out for the debt you owe. But of course, I have the right. The secrets of Al-Ahmar belong to the Thutmose, yet you took the key and betrayed us. You betrayed all of us, grains of sand. Just look at yourself. You're with children and cowards. Ha! Where's the ferocity you once had? Has it flowed away like sand flows out from between the fingers?
Enough! Hand Benben over.
Benben? Oh, that mechanical creation? Hey, did you all hear that? Jebrael actually calls this thing Benben. Unfortunately, the Snezhnayans aren't old acquaintances, or this would be much, much more amusing.
Hand over Benben or else.
Or else what, Jebrael? Is this even necessary? Ultimatum after ultimatum. Have you finally changed your mind? Do you plan to finally sit down and catch up with me? Oh, right. Do you remember what happened to Ufera? You haven't forgotten, right? It's fine. Even if you've forgotten, I can help you refresh your memories again and again.
What the heck is this guy saying?
We do have another way to communicate, don't we? Come on, Jeht. Why don't you and that kid over there lend him a hand? After all, Jebrael is much weaker than he used to be.
Aether, that guy Samail looks strong, but we have to give him a good thrashing so we can get Benben back.
Propagate! Send this now! Spring forth! Propagate! Send this now! Scatter! Propagate!
Benben, are you alright?
Beep. Beep.
It seems fine, but a little sad.
Hey, Jebrael! You'd better tell us the truth right this instant, or we'll have to go our separate ways. Samail is clearly some manner of a villain, but he was being so friendly with you, and even with Jeht. So, are you part of the same group? I knew it. I knew it all along. You agreed to my commission without even asking about the details. It's because you had a plan, right? You plotted with Samail to trick a simple and ignorant researcher like me to uncover the secrets here for you. And even use your own daughter to gain my trust for the sake of that goal, didn't you? And you, Jeht, that naivete and ignorance of yours was just a facade that Jebrael made you put on, wasn't it? And what an actress you were, indeed.
Tirzad, you're too much. Paimon thinks that Jeht really was in the dark about this, but as for Jebrael...
Paimon! You too, Aether! Wake up! It's my kindness and gullibility that made me fall for their lies. Don't follow in my footsteps.
What are you talking about? I'm no actress. And you, Father, this isn't time for secrets. I too want to know the truth.
I won't make excuses for my betrayal, nor do I think that I made the wrong choice.
You know, Paimon remembers Samail calling Jebrael something like that.
Treacherous grit.
Yes, there's nothing to hide there. I was once one of the sand people, Thutmose.
No matter what it was in the past. Now.
Anyway, Samail is a madman through and through. He will stop at nothing to achieve his objectives.
That was obvious enough.
My wife, Jet's mother, was killed by him.
So that's what happened. Is that why you never mentioned her?
Your mother was a researcher too. If it wasn't for me, she would have had a brighter future.
At least she wouldn't have lost her life at such a young age.
Tirzad.
What? I won't just believe a word you said.
That's reasonable. It was I who concealed my motives, so I brought this upon myself.
Huh. At least you've got some self-awareness.
But no matter what, I'll protect you until this commission is over.
No way! It's obvious that Samail has a bone to pick with you. If you stay with me, I don't want to be targeted by someone like that.
Tirzad, you're being stupid again. That's just an old grudge between them. His current priority is definitely King Deshret's treasures. Why would he have taken Benben otherwise? So he'd come for you even if my father wasn't here. After all, you have the key to solving everything.
I do? Wait, the stone slate? Good thing I gave it to Aether for safekeeping. I knew it wasn't something safe.
Hey!
It's not just the stone slate. but your intelligence too. The knowledge you possess as a researcher is something he covets.
I don't want to be targeted in a place like this!
It'll be fine with Jebrael here.
Father won't lose to that guy, and we have me too. I won't let Samail harm anyone again.
There's no time to lose. The longer we delay, the more time he'll have to prepare. He's like a viper crawling through the shadows, and his blades are like a viper's fangs. We cannot show any weakness to him, otherwise it would lead to fatal consequences.
I hope you'll keep your word.
Well, as far as Paimon is concerned, Paimon thinks that staying united is even more important now that we finally got Benben back. Look, there's still a long way ahead, right? But it's strange. What's Samail doing here? What they want should be up there, right?
I'm sure he has a plan. Or perhaps he missed some clues around here.
Oh, then we absolutely can't allow our differences to delay our expedition. Let's go! Aether and Paimon will take the front. All of you, keep up. And the door's open. Come on, let's go.
This should be the last place.
Aether, let's take a look at the stone slate. If things go the same way as before, there may be clues about the stone slate here.
This is...
It lit up as expected. And there's a map?
Tirzad, these symbols on the stone slate should be your area of expertise, right? So, isn't it time to give us an explanation?
Yes, these inscriptions are most likely texts of praise. Someone in an exalted position like King Jehet would naturally be fond of things like this. Look! All these wonders are an attempt at whitewashing his rule.
Whitewashing, you say? But Paimon remembers you saying something different earlier.
Rule by force, you said.
Exactly! You spoke of submission and terror before, and you sure sounded convinced then too.
What do you mean? These are conclusions I came to after careful analysis and reasoning. Just look at it! What would it be if not an attempt at whitewashing? It's very common for rulers to sugarcoat all their deeds. Since this entire rune was made by King Jehet, it's not that hard to imagine that this is its purpose, right? Reflecting on your own shortcomings in your work? Well, we researchers do that. Though they mostly just write a few hypocritical lines in the acknowledgments of a research paper and call it a day. And you know what? They're just pretending to be modest. Why would any academic really believe that they're incompetent anyway?
Aether, somehow Paimon gets the feeling that he's hurting himself with his own words there.
I must admit that Jebrael's analysis did give me some inspirations. But an outstanding researcher should be able to accept the opinion of others when they are correct. Needless obstinacy will make it impossible to make an academic breakthrough. Don't you think so too?
You've said everything that can be said from either side. Is there even anything left for us to say?
And here we see the researcher's ability to twist facts in its natural habitat.
It's nothing of the sort. This is the deepening of understanding. Your inability to realize that shows that you still have a long way to go.
Speaking of ways, is the place marked on the map our next destination?
Yes, I think it's where all treasures meet and all secrets end. Of course, it will be the end of our grand adventure too, and the penultimate chapter of my masterpiece. While I really wish to obtain all the answers at this instant, my body is exhausted.
Naftiga and the others are still at the oasis. Oh, right. Samail's subordinates reported to him about merchants. Do you think they were attacked?
Oh no! I almost forgot that!
I told them what to do if something like that happened. So they should be fine.
Whoa, that's a first. Paimon's never heard Jebrael sound so uncertain. Let's get back to Noctigal's group as soon as we can then. It'll be bad if they're in hot water that they can't get themselves out of.